Hey guys, what is up? This is Cody, or xCodeh. How's it going today? Hope everybody watching this video is having yourself a snazzy day. Today's life story commentary takes place back in 2011 when there was a huge snowstorm in the middle of October, which is really weird. Like, you usually don't have snow where I live up until about late November, December, January. So it was a very chaotic event because all of the leaves were still on the trees and we had this insane snowstorm come through. I believe the term for it is a nor'easter. When all the leaves are still on the trees and there's hella snow, it weighs the trees down, all the trees go down over the power lines. The entire state was without power for almost 2 weeks, I believe. It was probably the most destructive storm that I've ever been alive for in my state. I've never ever seen the entire state without power for like weeks at a time. It's like really unheard of. And living in an apartment, depending on electric heat, it got real chilly mode in here. It got to the point where you could almost see your breath. Like, I had a hoodie, a jacket on underneath a blanket. It was still just nothing, you know, it wasn't having it. There was no light in here. This was back before phones had like really good flashlights on them, I think. 2011, that sounds about accurate, right? I think I had like a slide phone back then with a keyboard. Those are the fucking days, dude. I miss the keyboard phone, like if you agree. In my local high school, the high school I went to is actually opened up as a shelter for everybody to go in the town that didn't have power. For all the poor motherfuckers that didn't have generators in their houses. I really wasn't trying to go to the school, you know, like, it was like a vacation, you know, that the snowstorm came through, didn't have school or anything. So like, you know, I wanted to stay home, but like, what are you going to do? You know, like there's no internet, there's no power, there's no TV. You're just going to sit here and read books in the dark. So once it got dangerously chilly in my house, advanced chilly in my house, it was me, my dad, and my homie, because my homie was already at my house conveniently. That made the entire situation way better, more fun. But we all decided to pack up a little bit of things and go to the high school because, like I said, there was a shelter there with heat. You know, they had big ass generators at my school. So we head on over to the school. And I remember the first night feeling super weird. Like, just being at school when it's nighttime is just like a weird ass feeling. You ever walk down the hallway like at night when there's nobody in class? It's creepy. It is legitimately fucking terrifying. It's like you're in a horror movie. Only the emergency lights were on to the entire school. So like, you know, you're walking down the hallway and it's just like completely empty. No noise at all. It's like such a weird sight. We get there and we're like calling all of our friends, seeing if there's anybody there. And we actually got a hold of a couple people that were going like the next day. So that was exciting. I remember nothing really specifically happened the first night other than one thing. Okay, other than one thing. In the cafeteria, they had like cots set up for all the old people. Like the old people got the, you know, the nice treatment. They got all the best stuff. And then the rest of the people were sleeping in the hallways and in the gymnasium. Gymnasium. I feel like I'm fucking 80 years old saying that. In the gym. Who says gymnasium anymore, huh? Do you guys say gymnasium? Well, who even decided on that word? Like, let's just say gym. In the cafeteria, they also had the lunch lines open and they were feeding everybody for free. Now, I don't know if they were trying to poison me. I don't know what the hell happened to this taco that I ate, but oh my God. I'm not going to go into detail, but let's just say the next morning, I figured out that Mexican food doesn't mix well with me. I don't know. It might have just been, you know, the lack of power, the lack of refrigeration, the lack of heating, cooking correctly. But oh man, it was not a good time. I'll tell you that. It was just not a good time. Anyways, I figured I'd throw that in the story just so I can look back on this video and remember how horrible that was in like 20 years when I lose my memory. On the second day is when things got crazier, I'd definitely say. A couple other friends met up with us at the school. We were just taking laps, doing the random jabroni shit that we used to do. And the whole mission of the day for the second day, the first mission I had was to get a pack of cigarettes, which turned out to be absolutely ridiculous. The second task of the day, the second mission, was to find any amount of weed that we possibly could because nobody had weed there and we really wanted to smoke. Keep in mind, all of the roads were closed, so it was basically impossible to get that. We ended up getting weed, and I'll tell you how in a little bit. So like I said, the first mission of the day was to get cigarettes. I'm actually forgetting this, dude. It was like scumbag xCodeh mode. On the first night, it was me, my homie, and my dad, and we were just chilling at the lunch tables just talking. And my dad had a pack of cigarettes just on top of the table, just like chilling. And I don't know how I pulled this off. I have no fucking idea. The sleight of hand pro action came out, dude. He turned around for not even 10 seconds to like check his phone or do something. And I like straight up ninja mode, put my hand on the table, took like 4 cigs out, put it back, like threw them on my lap and just like sat there like nothing happened and got away with it. He didn't even know. It was, it was straight up one of the best sleight of hand moves of my life. I am a terrible thief, trust me. Like, I cannot steal things because I just look guilty. Like, you could tell from a mile away that I have something in my pocket that I didn't pay for or something. Like, I just don't even try because it's that bad. But this scenario, dude, the cigarette addiction it changes you, bruh. So I had a couple cigs, but the cigs were dwindling. And the second day, I had to get cigarettes. Like I said, we were meeting a bunch of people that were like on their way there on the second day because they realized that they didn't want to just chill in their house in the dark. And I remember we were outside meeting everybody that was just showing up. And one of the people there was just kind of dropping the other people off like right before he went to work. And at this point in the second day, some of the main roads were open. And I went up to him in the car and I was like, yo, dude, can we just go back to my house? I have $10 there. I need to buy cigarettes. And he's like, dude, I tell you what, man, I am about to go to work. I can go and bring you to the gas station, get you cigarettes. We can go to your house and I can get the money, but I can't give you a ride back. And in my mind, dude, I was like, fuck it. Let's do it. Like, I didn't even think to myself, like, oh, I'm putting myself into a shitty scenario where I'm gonna be stuck at my house. My dad doesn't even know where I am. I just did it. I was like, fuck it, I can get cigarettes? Fuck yeah, bro. It's amazing the decisions that a nicotine addiction can make you do. It's pretty sad, honestly. So we go over to the gas station and I get cigarettes. I'm so happy, so thrilled. And like halfway to my house, I'm just looking at all the damage and all the snow around me. And I'm just thinking like, wow. I'm really fucked right now. This sucks. I go back to my house, I grab the money, give it to him, and he says, peace. I'm miles away from my high school, where everybody is, where my dad is, where all my friends are. It's fucking cold. And now I have to walk back. This fucking sucks. At least I had cigs though, you know, like that. Mission accomplished, right? So I'm walking back to the high school, and what do I see? I see the light at the end of the tunnel, the holy grail. I see some random lady in an SUV just taking pictures of the road because it was completely flooded over. The snow had started melting at this point, and the river was completely flooded over the entire road. That was also one of the reasons why the roads were completely shut down, other than like the main roads. Like, in order to get back to my house, we had to go bullshit like all the way around the town. It was absurd. I'm surprised he even did it. I walk up to this lady, super nervous, but also I had this like bit of confidence in myself. Like, I was just like, oh, what is she gonna say? No, she's gonna let me fucking walk in the snow alone. So I walked up to her and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm kind of stuck here. Is there any way that you can bring me to the high school? And she looks at me and she's just like, how did you get here? And I'm like, oh, you know, I live over there. I just walked down. And she's like, you're walking to the high school right now? You know how far that is? And I'm like, yeah. You know, like, you know, it's cold outside. Can you just please give me a ride? And she's like, oh yeah, it's fine, no problem. It was such a legendary moment. It was like thinking you fail the math test and then you get like an A-. It's just like the greatest feeling in the world. I was also like really nervous because this is one of the first times I had hitchhiked. It's like engraved into your mind at a very young age that hitchhiking is bad, okay? You don't get into a stranger's car, especially in 2019, man. You just don't. But in this scenario, like, what the fuck am I to do? Am I just gonna walk my ass to the high school in the freezing cold? No. Especially with the main roads, because it would have taken me a substantial amount of time. Like, I'm talking 4 hours this would have taken me, or longer even. I remember in the car ride, we were just kind of talking about photography, like really like awkward small talk. Like, this lady was old, man. I don't think she wanted to talk to me. I didn't want to talk to her, but it was fine, honestly. It was completely fine. Nothing weird happened there. We got back to the school. I'm like feeling like $1,000,000. I have a pack of cigarettes. Immediately when I get there, immediately. This is like an imminent thing. Every one of my friends, yo, let me bum a cig, let me bum a cig. And I'm sitting there like, do you know what I had to do to get back here with these cigarettes? You, sir, can fuck right off. I definitely gave my like homie that I went there with a couple cigs, but everybody else can fuck right off. So now the mission of the day was to find weed. And then we started calling everybody on the list because the only other mission of the day was to find even a little bit of weed, a gram of fucking weed, anything we could find. We're calling everybody on the list. Everybody's saying, nah, bro, I'm camped up at my grandparents' house with a generator, you know, just like lucky bastards. And then the rest of them were like, dude, have you seen the roads? You think I'm gonna be driving right now? You're funny. Hangs up the phone. And then we called the one person, the same crazy motherfucker from smoking weed at a police station. I'll link that in the... Did I tell that story? I did tell that story 3 months ago. I'll link it in the description and a card on the top Up there, I think. That same crazy dude answered the phone. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be right there." And we're like, "What? Holy shit." And we're like, "All right, meet you across the street, man." So we leave school grounds just like in normal school. Didn't feel cool at all because, you know, the school wasn't in session or anything. We went across the street. There is trees down all over the place. It was like we had to go through like fucking this much snow, like knee-deep snow just to get across there. We get over there and there's like power lines, open power lines, chilling just on the fucking pathway. There's like open, exposed wires across snow that we had to go across to get this weed. I don't even want to explain how stupid that was. If you ever see downed power lines, stay the fuck away from it. Just stay very far away from it. This dude pulls up in like 15 minutes, whipping around corners, like, cause like the roads are pretty much closed. He is like skirting around corners in his Jeep. He just rolls up to us, slams on the brake like, "Yo, what's up, dude?" He was like the coolest motherfucker ever. He was like that cool dude from Dazed and Confused. I remember he gave us some weed. I don't know what the strain was. He used to always tell us bullshit like Red Cherry OG. You know, he'd say like shit like that. Like that doesn't even exist, I'm pretty sure. I think we bought like a gram or two, if I'm remembering correctly. It was something around those lines. It wasn't a lot, but it was definitely like something. It was like worth the time and effort because he got there so quick. So that was the time where I had to use my school as a shelter, sleep in it overnight, end up hitchhiking for a pack of cigarettes, crossing over open exposed wires to buy weed. And that was the first night and part of the second day. The end of the second day and the third day were even crazier. I'm gonna save those for separate videos, so stay tuned. Leave a like in the video if you guys enjoyed and you're hyped to see the next ones, because I'll be sure to bring those to you very soon. And by very soon, I hope not next week, okay? I'm gonna try to be more consistent on YouTube, man. I apologize. It's been very inconsistent, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope you guys have yourself a snazzy day. Thank you for spending the time out of your day to watch my video. Be sure to follow me on social media. It's xCodeh on everything. Everything, except like SoundCloud, but I mean, you don't have to follow me on there. I mean, come on. If you really want like my playlist, you know, xCodeh on Spotify, and it's called The Playlist. Yeah. But yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, it's all xCodeh, so go and... yeah. Also, you can follow my cat. It's Bentley the Kitty with an EH. It's right on screen. You can't miss it. It's very important that you go and follow my cat. I cannot stress it enough. And also, huge thank you to everybody who's been supporting me on Patreon. It really means the world to me. Here's the names of everybody who's been supporting me on screen right now. For $1 or $2 a month, you can support the channel and get access to the secret unlisted videos that I've been making. This is sounding like a 3 a.m. infomercial at this point. Jokes aside, huge thank you for the support. It really, really does help me out. I also just purchased a Nintendo Switch, and I got the new Elgato that I can stream with coming in, I believe, next week, somewhere around there. So I'll be streaming Nintendo Switch games. I'm gonna play the fuck is it? Mario Maker 2. Can't even think right now. Mario Maker 2. I'm gonna be playing that. Luigi's Mansion 3 for sure. When that comes out, I'll be copping it and streaming it on Twitch. So go follow me on there if you like live streams. Haven't streamed in a little bit, but I'll get back into it soon. Promise. Check out the merch, xCodeh.com/shop. Thank you for watching the video. Stay high, stay lifted, and stay snazzy. Peace.